Well, you can't beat a little bit of bird song first thing in the morning, nice and early, before too many allotment ears come up here and make those usual noises. No music on my channel, no editing, pause and record only. You get what you see. I don't mind natural allotment sounds, trains and motorbikes speeding down the bypass, enjoying themselves. But today I'm just enjoying the last of the tulips. Some of the oh, come on, where's my finger? Some of the pears are just started to swell out. There's nothing to say that they're going to stay, and we'll thin them out if there's too many. I'm wishing my luck. But my friends from Andermatt previously sent me some of the vine weevil killer. Absolutely brilliant. I managed to keep my strawberries in the beds outside. I half did the strawberries in the polytunnel. That was sort of fine. Should have done them all, like a comparison, because when I put my carrots in the following year, the vine weevil got into the carrots. So it's always best to do it all. And recently they've sent me some of this Insectonet, plastic free. They say it'll last 2 years, and I'm going to give it a try on these pallet collar raised beds, the ones that we've got the giants in. They're all planted. They've got the old street lighting lamps, lenses, covers, whatever you want to call them. Just giving them a bit of protection because we had -2 here with thick ice, and luckily enough my potatoes were still in the greenhouse and they survived. So I've created a simple hoop structure. Remember, we use the found poles and corner clips, etc., to create a netted area for my strawberries. The tulips have done a really good job in protecting the strawberries from the frost, and I haven't seen any that have got the black eye. So what a good companion plant for the strawberries. So we've put the 2 poles in, pushed them down as far as they'll go. Haven't had to fasten them because they're supporting, and by the time you put the pipes over the top, it creates its own shape and pushes against the sides. To help it, I've just put a bit of woodwork in. Now you'll probably say, why don't you put it in the middle? But what I want to do is have the netting down and put it on some pieces of wood to hold it down, and then I can roll it up all the way up and over the slope, so it just sits there, he says. You can only but try. So this netting is 5 meters long, 2.5 wide. I think I've done the hoops at just under 2 meters. So hopefully, he says, we'll have a little bit of overhang. Let's get it out and have a little look. Let's have a little look at that. I'm not sure whether you're going to be able to read all that, but just pause it there, have a little read, and pause it there. So I think most people understand how the netting works. Stops your insects getting, flies, aphids getting to your crops, etc. This talking about petroleum-derived plastic netting is a common tool relied upon on gardeners, which makes Insectonet special that while it looks and feels like other insect netting, it's not made from plastic. So let's get it out and have a little look. You know I don't like boring you guys, so oh gum, I could sleep on that. Last 2 years, so we've got to look after it. It won't last forever. Let's just find a piece that very, very fine. Obviously if it's in contact with the ground or under the ground, it's probably going to rot that little bit quicker. I haven't got this issue here because we're off the ground, but it does say that you do need to fasten it down well so the insects can't get up and underneath. But let's get it spread over the frame, see what it looks like. Now it looks like this is longer than 5 meters by the time you take into account the drop off down there. So I'm going to probably drag it out to about there, and I'll infill with something else, but I'll fasten that end down, and we'll see how we go. I've moved those labels back because they are sharp and caggy, which won't do any netting any good at all. Well, today's supposed to be dry, but now it's raining. Oh dear, here we go again. A nice cup of hot chocolate later. Thank you, Sandra M. I always staple it down before I put the next piece of wood on. Is it? Cut twice, measure once. Because I've made it easier, I've fastened this to there. So I'll undo that last the screws at each end now to release it. Now I've completed that. This is what happens if you don't use a pilot drill. So basically you cut holes first, and then it will bite in and it'll grip, but it won't split, he says. Well, that's done. It's not how I wanted it, all my fault. I had to try it and it didn't work. So try to be clever. I cut it about there, but of course it's hanging over. But let's see if the roll-up works. That's okay. So basically I left everything at that other end. You can't see that at the moment, and the piece I cut off fits that perfectly, so it worked there. So we'll just take you off the tripod and just show you around as to what we've done. So this end had the overhang on. I cut it off around there, I fastened it down with a little block, pulled it tight. I'm not worried. There we go, the motorbikes racing down the bypass. Cable tied that on. Then we moved to the other end, and the piece we cut off fits perfectly with that little bit spare. And Jason knows I'm going to compost that to see if it does break down over time, because we've got the bit that come from around that the right hand side round the corner, fasten that on, and the extra piece we've put a little batten there. That seems to be working fine with any supports that we need. This will come off at the end of the season, and I just want to try this on this one and we'll use debris netting on the next. Won't bother with the one on the end because it's got the red cabbages and the kohlrabi, some beetroot, so we'll just see what sort of difference it makes overall. But some of these vegetables don't like getting wet, so having the hoops, at least I'll be able to drag some plastic over to stop the water getting in. And why not check out in the description below, there is a discount code for this netting if you want to go and have a little look. I'll be looking at this and over the next couple of years, and I want to try and make it last as long as possible. So let's just see how it goes. So quick cable tie up the top there. I'm just going to see now whether I can water through the netting. Oh yes, easy peasy. Only lose a little bit of water. Like I said, just check out the description below for the Andermatt links and see what else they do, the nematodes, etc. And like I said, there's a discount code there if you like what you see. So when I do the debris netting on this next one, I'll change what I do. We'll learn from any mistakes. I've still got to cut the plastic off there, but I'm pleased with that. We've reused those poles, and all we've done is bought some more water pipe. So all these beds, all they've cost is a bit of water pipe. Hasn't cost nothing to fill the beds. The pallet collars were for free. The laths did cost me something, and as you know, wood is expensive, but if we can get what we can get for free, that all helps. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now. The living green one is breaking down nicely. We'll put that to one side somewhere, nice and wet and damp and horrible.